That's why I told her to get out. You know, it's got all up in her grill. All right, welcome to the Itch Network podcast, where we discuss all things happening with movies and video games. I'm Spencer, and I'm talking with my good friend Ninja C. Ninja, how are you?
I'm doing great, Spence. How are you doing, bud?
Very, very good. Uh, Obviously, it's the week of what our end of November, right?
Yep, soon to be December and Christmas. Well, tell retail Christmas is already here after Thanksgiving, so Christmas music everywhere.
Christmas is beautiful. I love it. It's my favorite. I can't wait for the holidays, but we're not there yet, so we gotta hold our horses. We got a hell of a show today. We're gonna talk about Darksiders 3. Just came out. We're gonna talk about Bethesda. We're gonna talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. The online service just started. We're gonna talk about a host of movies. As always, you're our movie enthusiast. You're the expert. And we might even do a little League of Legends quiz. And by might, I mean we will do a League of Legends quiz. You excited for that?
Oh, it's happening. Yeah, I'm up to silver, man. I'm hoping to get the what is it, up to gold? You get the cool skin, man.
You get an awesome skin. The skin you're in.
And you don't have to sell them a leg and an arm.
That's true. I'll give it to you for free. But before we get into all that, Ninja, what have you been watching?
Oh man, I've been watching Dead Heat, Assault on Precinct, the 13. That's gonna be the remake, not to be confused with the original John Carpenter one.
Was it John Carpenter?
Daybreakers.
The original?
No, yeah, it's the 2005 remake.
Gotcha.
Daybreakers and Ken, which just came out on Redbox and DVD release.
Okay. Very cool. Why don't you start us off with Dead Heat? What do we got?
Dead Heat. I unearthed this action comedy horror made in 1988. I think at the end of the great 80s cheesy movies. It's starring Joe Piscopo, a comedian that found steroids and small shirts. And
he is looking very buff. Very buff in this picture.
I swear, as the movie goes on, the shirt gets smaller and smaller. I don't know if they had just had multiple shirts, and he was just trying to. And he has a jacket. He's always flexing, man. I think. But
was he really on roids? Do we know that?
Probably. I think he was really skinny, and then he just blew up all of a sudden. So yeah, and it's the 80s. Come on, man. But we have to do the Arnold. We have to do like an Arnold retrospective or something on all those guys. All of them are using.
Yeah.
Anyway, you might find this interesting because Terry Black wrote it, and that's actually the brother of Shane Black.
Oh, who did the Predator?
Yeah,
Punch Up.
And Shane was actually one of the top paid writers at one time.
Really?
He's actually fairly talented. I just heard that today after researching this. So, yeah, his less successful brother did Terry Black wrote it. So,
well, writing's in the family.
Yeah, there you go. So,
that's good.
It doesn't have a lot of big stars. It's a fairly low budget movie. I mean, it's got like tagline, "You can't keep a good cop dead." The premise, I enjoyed it because the premise is insane. Somebody's reviving corpses and bringing them back to life. It opens up with two guys that have like luchador cheap masks that are about to rob a bank. And they're just unloading every weapon into them, and the cops are just dying left and right.
Is it like that shotgun scene from RoboCop?
Basically, dude, it's rated R. Actually, that's too. I need a preface of that. All 3 out of 4 movies are rated R.
Oh,
and they're
pirate extravaganza.
Yeah, so we're going back to the classics. I think you're giving me a hard time about all these. What I was gonna watch Bambi or
Christopher Robin,
Christopher Robins and stuff like that. No, we're going back to the hard R's.
All right, now
that's what's selling. That's what people want.
That's what the kids want. They want Joe Piscopo popping out of his shirt.
They want Deadpool and Logan now. Okay, it's happening. Oh, and Vince Price is it? Now, I have to correct myself. Vincent Price is in it. So
Is in Dead Heat?
yes.
Vincent
So
Price.
yeah, Vincent Price. Yeah,
What is he doing
and
in
his
Dead
must
Heat?
barely alive. Clean like he's really old in it and stuff. So yeah.
He's making a cameo as Stan Lee. Oh, just kidding. I didn't
Oh,
say that.
oh,
I didn't.
all the downvotes.
I
Oh
didn't
no.
say that. That wasn't me.
Oh.
All right,
But
what's
I'm just gonna
next?
distance
Well,
myself from that, and
what's your big review there? What do you give it?
I give it 3 out of 5 dead zombie cops. It's good. It's good fun. It's only an hour and 26 minutes, so the pacing is fantastic. It's balls to
Wonderful.
walls.
I love that. That's the old movie charm. It's got to be
Yeah, I
under.
think
It's got to
you
be
just
an hour and a half. Get in, get out. I love it.
yeah, as you mentioned, like RoboCop, and I think previous episode, it's that magic that a lot of horror movies do it too. Is that 1 hour and 30 minute? They know when not to.
Well, horror movies brevity is key. So yeah,
Yes, it is. So yeah, that's it. I think it's on. You can get it on I mean, you can get everything on like Prime or whatever. So trying to
all right.
reference where you can find this stuff or the internet. You can just Google it. So.
Find it on the internet.
So, have you seen Assault on Precinct 13, the classic one? I know you're a
N-
big John Carpenter
No, but
fan.
I have some. I have a short story about it. I won't take too much time.
Okay.
I was working. My first job was me working in a law firm, just organizing files. I was terrible at the job, just the
Well, it
worst.
sounds like a boring job.
It was. I literally fell asleep in it. My boss saw me falling asleep or saw me sleeping. I mean, and that they didn't even fire me then. They probably should have, but that was how bad that job was. But one of the ladies had her son like start working there. It was shortly before I got fired, and he just came in. He was such a dope. He just came in with his laptop and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna watch a movie in here." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go work." And he said, "Okay," and then he put this movie on. It's like it's pretty good.
He put now he put the classic John Carpenter's on Precinct 13.
He put on the 2005 version.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I'm sure it's fine. I don't think it's bad. I have no grudge against it. I just remember this movie specifically, that absolute just dope putting on that movie. And I think he took all my work. So, um, but I totally deserve it. So, anyway, what do you think? A police sergeant must rally the cops and prisoners together to protect themselves on New Year's Eve, just as corrupt policemen surround the station with the intent of killing all to keep their deception in the ranks.
Yeah, I've seen the first one. So I have a perspective on it. The first one's really great. Again, it's just John Carpenter. You give the man $20 and he'll make a great scene. So just
When you say
blow.
John Carpenter was the original 1970 something.
Yeah, yeah. That one's pretty beloved because I was looking through other people's reviews and they liked the original one before, but the actors were really good and I guess you could do less is more type effect to it. But this one's okay. It's got Lawrence Fishburne. It's got Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke's going to be in another movie too, so it's Ethan Hawke week. And
Someone's got a
uh,
crush. You got a crush on Ethan.
it's got John. Let me see if I can pronounce it right. John Leguizamo's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really I enjoy him. He's hilarious, and it kind of just falls into your typical kind of action schlock, I guess, to quote Red Letter Media. But yeah, I would just go see the classic.
Fun for the
I
whole
don't think
family
it's
though.
worth your time though.
Oh, this one's rated R though. You can't watch it with your family.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it was very successful too. Yeah, yeah, the $20 million budget. It grossed 19. So I don't
Bummer.
think they're gonna. It's a typical thing
No, no,
where they.
there's no assault on precinct 14.
Yeah, I don't think that's coming out. So it's
What's up,
kind of
Southpaw? Anyway,
a
go ahead.
typical thing where they try to cash in on a remake, and people have, I guess, nostalgia feeling and think that it's gonna be, oh, okay, well, I like this, so then they'll get people in. And I guess it didn't work this time, so. But I think, to Ethan Hawke's credit though, he was fairly well acted, and
Well,
Lawrence doing his thing too. So I think
how many assaults on precincts do you give it?
Assaults on Precincts, I'll give it 2 out of 5 dirty cops.
Two out of that's kind of a low score. What's uh
Yeah,
what's
they
what's
just go see
next?
the original. So
What's next on the list?
another Ethan Hawke, another Ethan Hawke movie, man. And it's Hawke with an E, by the way. I just want to make sure. Wait, says that. So he's not the bird. This is later on, 4 years later. Daybreakers, 2009. I actually like the concept of this one. And again, it's a short film, only an hour and 38 minutes, man.
In the year 2019, a plague has transformed almost every human into vampires. Whoa. Faced with a dwindling blood supply, the fractured dominant race plots their survival. Meanwhile, a researcher works with a covert band of vamps. Vamps. I like that. On a way to save humankind.
Yeah, it's more of a realistic portrayal of what would happen if the vampires did win and they converted us. They apparently in the movie shows they would go to their boring office jobs and go to their vampire Starbucks and take the train. It looks looks pretty normal,
Whoa.
but yeah. So their blood supply is dwindling, and the thing is, if they don't get blood, they turn to more of the classic Nosferatu. Not I'll
Nosferatu.
get it one day. Yeah, more of the actual vampire animal, more of a bat-like creature. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, there's actually some pretty good. This is actually a low-budget movie that actually did really well. It did make a profit, and there are some fans out there that like this. Besides the, I guess, miscasting of one of the characters
Who's the
as the
miscasted?
comic relief. Crazy eyeball guy. I'll look up his name in a sec.
Crazy eyeball guy.
William Dafoe.
Willem
Yeah,
Dafoe is, I guess. Yeah, he is kind of
yeah, yeah.
crazy. I thought
He's.
Sam Neill would be the miscast. He seems like.
Oh no, no. Sam Neill's doing his same like evil guy thing though. Sam's. He's the check cleared. He's doing
What
his
is
his
he
usual
doing though?
man.
Like he hasn't been in a movie in a minute, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
He can't be in a movie about vampires out of nothing.
What do you just want him to go back to Jurassic Park?
Go back to Jurassic Park.
But
Why not?
yeah, the only thing that's kind of silly, they try to cure vampires by burning them up a little bit, not fully crispy, and then they just put them out, and then they turn back human. So it's almost in vain of how silly. There's a zombie comedy movie where I guess like falling in love, the zombies revert back to themselves. Oh my God, I think this
Oh,
is a copy of that,
I
or
rem-
maybe that movie copied this.
I remember seeing something
Because
about
it's
that movie.
similar
Yeah.
to it. And I like that one because it's a comedy, and the thing is, you know how these vampires turn to more animalistic ones. The zombies have like a different zombie way they turn into, and they just like peel their skin off, and they're just they call them bonesies or something or whatever,
Bonesies.
bones or whatever. They're just really scary looking zombies. They like lose everything. So yeah, that's an interesting too. Maybe we can review that later. But yeah, very similar. There's some similarities. Basically, one's a zombie movie, one's
What's
a
your
vampire
What's
movie.
your review of Daybreakers? How many?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good, man. I'm gonna switch it up. I give it 7 out of 9 vampire teeth.
Ooh, you only need two though.
So yeah, there you go.
All
You
right.
only need to.
And what's the next? What's the last
We're
one?
gonna
This is the
round it
only
out.
non-rated R movie, right?
The
Whatever's
only
coming up.
non-rated R movie, and it's brought to you by the people that did Stranger Things and something else that's popular. So they're trying to cash in on that. It's kind of a fairly low budget movie too. I think Lionsgate produced it, but tonally it's kind of all over the place. It's a Redbox or your
What
DVD store, not Blockbuster, but
what movie?
it stars it's Kin, Kin, and it's a hour and 42 minutes action sci-fi. So it doesn't have 3 or 4 genres that it's trying to cover.
Oh man.
Uh, Basically, this kid gets he steals Daft Punk's weapons, and needs to give them back. So
Wait, is that really it?
no, the
Or are you just
characters
being
that
catty?
they look like Daft Punk, man. It's really hilarious. Just
Man.
but yeah, there's this cool futuristic weapon that kind of has that Judge Dredd technology where he can only use it once he's touched it. So um, we've got the kid's almost the unknown. We got Dennis Quaid in it, looking really old. He's the father figure in it. So, but it's basically chased by a vengeful criminal. Oh, I forgot who plays that. You're gonna love that. He's really good at playing kind of scummy villains. James Franco
Ugh.
is in
I do
it.
not
Yeah.
get that guy. People
Yes.
love James. I do not get it. I don't even. I mean, he's probably attractive. Yeah. I mean, who am I to judge that? But I think he is so worthless. He's just. What
Well,
is
he's the
that?
he's the bad guy in it, so
Oh.
I kind of like there's a good twist at the end, so I don't really want to do too many spoiler reviews
All right.
on this. So I think it was a little. I think tonally, I think they're trying to sell it to kids. So it's PG-13, right? And the main actor is a 14-year-old kid,
What's up, Bio Phoenix? Anyway, keep going.
but there's like all this violence and I think there's a warning even about drug use in the beginning of it that it was kind of odd too on the DVD because they usually don't do that. But yeah, I think this wasn't successful because just like tonally and then just like how they advertised it. So special effects are really cool
Looks
and like
very pink purple.
yes, it is that color scheme. Yeah, it's very Daft Punk. Like try to watch this and Tron on the same on side by side. It'll be visually amazing. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's like a grenade that like stops time. I'd probably watch it just for that. That scene's really cool. So,
All right. How
but
many grenades of stop time do you give it?
I'll give it 4 out of 5. Give it a chance. I think I got a bum rap. Redbox, man. What is it? Go use the code or
Go use
pay.
put
But
put
it's like $1.50 or something. So
put itch type the itch network and you'll get $1 off your
a promo
Redbox.
code. Yeah, we're working with them right now. I'm calling them up.
Do not do that. Do not do that. Didn't and then you did watch Crazy Rich Asians, right?
Negative.
Oh, you didn't. Okay, we'll review that in the future. Okay, man. Before we get into too much of the video game stuff, I got a little quiz for you. Are you
My
ready?
favorite part of the week, man. Yeah.
Every week you're just waiting for this, aren't you? All right, this is League of Legends. You made it to silver. We're all proud of you. I knew you'd make it. You're bronze. Let's see how you do in the silver rank. All right, let's get started. Number 1. What is Lux's secondary title? Beacon of Demacia, the Prismatic Mage, the Lady of Luminosity, or the Light Sorceress?
Man, those are all great titles, by the way. I'm gonna go with Light Sorceress.
I don't think it is.
Ah,
It's the Lady of Luminosity. No one is.
Lady of Illuminate. It just sounded. There's too many L's in that. It's like alliteration. That's like,
That's what makes it great. No one is more luminous than Lux. By the way, this is a Red Bull quiz, if that demotes it or
Red
anything.
Bull.
Red Bull, get your heart on. All right,
Send us some Red Bull.
Yeah, we got to get Red Bull as a sponsor. The thing is, I don't
No,
drink Red Bull.
we're plugging them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Red
just
Bull,
put like
get your
tons of
rocks off.
empty cans of Red Bull around to show you that how dedicated you are to the show? That you'll over caffeinate yourself.
Yeah, I'll just have somebody drink them and I'll just put them behind me and do it that way. All right, number 2. Lying is like 95% of what I do. For my next trick, I'll make their health bar disappear. The black rose shall bloom once more. Time to make an appearance. These voice lines
Oh,
belong to which champion? Jin, Tom Kench, LeBlanc, or Shaco?
I'm gonna go LeBlanc on that one.
As a former LeBlanc main, you are correct. Yep, the Rift's premier fibber is LeBlanc.
Yeah, 'cause she's supposed to be like an illusionist and everything, but it's that Black Rose line. I know that from anywhere.
All right, number 3. Which of the following champions are associated with Zon? Dr. Mundo, Zack, Singed, or Janna?
I'm gonna go with Singed.
I think you're right. You are right. Very good. Wait, what? This thing's saying that all of them are associated with.
Okay.
Which actually I think is true. I think Dr. Mundo was in there and Zack was created there. It says Janna was even associated. I don't remember that, but whatever. All right. So I guess you couldn't get that one wrong. Number 4. Which of the following champion's initial design was a Hextech engineer called Cece, but was then conceptually and visually reworked? Tristana, Ziggs, Braum, or Oriana?
It was Braum. I remember this because she had like this mechanical like shield thing or something.
BioPhoenix, it's okay. You can just guess. He's not gonna. He doesn't play. He doesn't know anything.
It's okay.
You're
That's the
going
fun
with
part about it, man. Play at home. You'll win the home edition later.
you're going with Braum.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a guess. You are right. Only you would know that. I didn't know that one
Well,
at
I'm a
all.
Braum main. I think he's
Yeah.
like the highest mastery I have. But I think do I have? Yeah, I even have a shirt that I work out in the gym. It has like Braum's mustache. That mustache, man.
Is that what gets
But
you?
dude, Braum was actually created by fans because he was like a tough lumberjack that would punch you in the shoulder to make you tougher and stuff. It's hilarious. Go look it up, man.
According to Riot, CC's art didn't jam with her gameplay style, so we got Braum.
Yeah. Braum's a great character, man. He's a protector and feeds the poros and they grow mustaches. So.
All right, dude, we got a statistical question for you. You ready?
Oh no, numbers. My Achilles heel.
How much critical strike bonus is applied by the unique passive of Infinity Edge? 100%, 200%, 70%, or 50%? I think this is a little bit old, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too because I think they changed it recently, but I'm gonna go with the
Yeah.
old school thing and assume they haven't updated it in a while. So 200%.
Whoa, it couldn't have been that old because it just talked about Braum. The IECS bonus has changed over the year, but currently rests at 50%. Actually, I think that's right because normally it's 100% and then it adds 50%. So I think that might be right, but it's kind of a deceptive question. Anyway.
I gotcha. I don't think we're gonna sue Red Bull. So
Number 6. The picture below contains the following items. Oh. Can you see the screen at all? Are you able to pull up?
let me pull up the stream real quick
Yeah. All right.
and go to the live part. Yeah, I can see it now.
The picture below contains the following items: Rabadon's Death Cap, Rod of Ages, Tiamat, Hex Drinker, Hextech Gunblade, and a Stalker's Blade. True or false? Wow, that's a dumb question.
I see Death Cap, Rod of Ages, Tiamat, Hex Drinker, Gunblade, and a Stalker's Blade. Is that are they saying Stalkers is Gensu's? I guess I'll say true on that.
It's false.
Oh, okay.
There's not a Stalker's Blade in sight.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't know if they were, because maybe that's another word for Gensu, because there's all these.
Yeah, it's complicated now. Should be noted that this is from an older time, I believe. So things may have changed. Are you still watching?
Yeah, we want to preference that League is updated almost every 2 weeks. So.
Are you still watching the stream?
Yeah, I got it now.
Who is this hidden champion? Kled, Fizz, Jinx, or Alistair?
Hidden champion. Wow, they barely show anything. I'll go with Kled. It's like clutching a feather. It looks like a hand.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, Biosphere is going to guess Kled too, and he is correct.
Good job. Give that man a point. Do some
1 point for Biophoenix.
We need to have some sub goals so we can give some gift cards away.
Number 8. Two champions are named after the founders of Riot Games, Mark Merrill and Brandon Beck. Who are they?
I'm gonna say Trinamere and Rise. Yeah, these guys
Whoa!
created it.
You better not be watching the stream at this point.
Oh, what? I was supposed to stop the stream?
Well, I don't want you looking at this unless you have to.
Okay.
All right. Number 9. Back in 2013, former Fnatic mid laner
Oh God, not
XPK.
the professional play. I don't even
Yeah,
watch
I
it
don't know any of
anymore.
these. Won notoriety for achieving an incredible feat during the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice competition. What was it? Takes no damage for an entire game. Plays with a broken hand. Solo kills the Nexus via backdoor or 1v5 pentakill.
Now I know this one. It's solo kills the Nexus via backdoor because it was the term they kept using. They XPK'd it or something, so it was almost meme worthy.
You got it. You are correct. Number 10, and this is the last question. How have Annie and Tibbers... What? This question has some English struggles, but how have Annie and Tibbers
English?
English? How have Annie and Tibbers been famously honored by Riot Games? They're the stars of a one-off comic book series. One of its employees named their children after them. Annie and Tibbers are secretly hidden in every outgoing communication from the company, or there's an enormous statue of the pair in the Riot HQ lobby.
Can I hope what it's not? I hope it's not the one that they name their kids after. Can have that would not be it. But anyway, I think they have a big statue at HQ in Riot.
You are correct. The pair sit in the Riot HQ lobby. The statue was recently removed and taken to the World's Finals, but thankfully has returned to its rightful place.
Knowing Riot, you can probably buy a miniature of it
Yeah, right. For
for the right price.
for $59.99. Solid summoning. You know more than most summoners, but you've yet to prove you're truly exceptional. Looks like that's when you got to go to gold, which is where you're heading, buddy.
Can you insert that little noise when you upgrade?
Just made it. There you go. With my mouth. All right. Releases. Darksiders 3 just came out. Not looking great. I mean, it's looking okay, but the meta score is 64. The user score is a little higher at 7.3.
Oh, it isn't that kind of common though, isn't the
Lately, yeah, for sure. For sure, recently the critic score has been different than the user score. Maybe it's always been that way. I really started noticing when Star Wars Episode 8 came out, and it was like hilariously different. One positive review says, once again, the Horsemen offer us a masterpiece. Darksiders 3, even with all the fear and skepticism behind the game, has managed to become a superb hack and slash. And a negative is, the game is a nightmare to play through with an unlikable protagonist, a chugging frame rate, and a mountain of bugs. It's completely and utterly broken, but even when it works, which is almost never, it amounts to nothing more than a below-average hack and slash with some decent puzzles. BioPhoenix says, I hear Darksiders 3 plays more like Dark Souls. That should be a good thing, right?
Yeah, I would think so and stuff. I mean, I've seen some of the footage. I have apparently I have Darksiders 1 and then the Darksiders War Master Edition. And it looks like I've barely played them on Steam, so and then to segue to that, I think I got the War Masters Edition by doing that charity thing, Humble Bundle. So if you ever want a lot of games and give to a good cause, the Humble Bundle's really well. Really good.
Look at the humble brag. Very cool. La-di-da, Ninja donates to charity. Look at him go. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Got a little video playing. So yeah, in this one you play the redheaded girl. She is, what do you call it?
Fury, right?
Fury, yeah. Which is what, aren't there like 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? Isn't that what it is?
I believe so. Well, there was 2 other characters, one for the first one, the second one. So maybe they were gonna explore. Maybe the 4th one in the making if they make enough money.
Yeah. Hopefully they do, but yeah, the mixed reviews are a little worrisome. IGN, they're a prestigious review group. Darksiders 3 is a straightforward action game that isn't afraid to throw some serious old school challenges at you. That does sound like Dark Souls.
Well, I think I was at GameStop that
Hmm.
did it, and I think the YouTube comments were basically they didn't get paid off enough money to have a good review. So
Could be. That seems to be how it works these days. Yeah, I heard that the series was like a lot like Zelda 2. Like Zelda is what, not Zelda 2, the weird side scroller Zelda. I mean the Zelda just also like where you get items and you progress through different parts through puzzles and stuff.
well, that sounds like fun. That sounds mechanically it sounds like fun. It depends on if it's executed well.
I love the aesthetic where you're like in the I don't even know if you're in the future, but you're in like that post-apocalyptic thing.
Oh, gotcha.
And I like because in the
Is
video
that your
that we were playing.
checklist? Are you also isolated too?
Oh my god. What are you, my therapist?
Spencer's gaming quarters. Does it meet his checklist of needs?
Anyway, I like being isolated. I like being alone. I should get a game where I'm just a person in a hut.
I would love that.
It's called Hut Life.
Life.
Uh,
I would call it like Always Alone or something, but I think yours is a little less depressing title.
yeah. Well, I don't want to
Hut
be
Life.
sad alone. I just want to be
Hut
alone.
Life sounds like a branding of a clothing company there.
One that I would wear proudly. BioPhoenix says the first game was kind of like Zelda meets Dante's Inferno. That sounds like a hoot.
Yeah, I remember the gameplay is pretty good, like the combat and the action that I played in the first one. I enjoyed that.
Well,
I remember a little bit of cheesy voice acting, but I mean,
that in that era, voice acting wasn't quite where it is now. I remember that voice acting was still not as um, seriously considered as it is.
no,
Even
I mean like
going,
everything it probably
man.
evolves over
I mean,
time.
going back to PS1. Remember that debacle, Resident Evil. Are they even trying on that one?
Oh yeah, I love the cheesy Resident Evil.
And then slowly, PS2 it got a little better, but still real bad. And then PS3 era, Xbox 360 era, we're getting some professionals in there.
Well, isn't that when you're getting Drake? You're getting those Drake games that had
Yeah,
pretty good ratings and stuff. Yeah,
I think those cinematic games like pushed all that forward, where they took it a little more seriously from then on. And now if you make a game with a bad voice actor, it's really noticeable.
gotcha.
So, real quick, I'm gonna jump into we're playing Red Dead Online. Theoretically, I could have started already, but I'm waiting for JD. But I am playing tonight with Sean, my old friend, and I don't think we'll stream it, but we are playing it, and hopefully we'll stream it this weekend, which should be really fun. The game, I beat the game. Should do a review of it. I don't know if I will. I mean, why not? You know, but online should be an absolute hoot. I saw a video of somebody, because you can like lasso people, obviously, because it's a cowboy kind of game. And I saw somebody like lasso a guy and just drag him for like a mile. Looks hilarious. I hope I can do that to somebody. But this should be a ton of fun. I'll let you guys know how it is. All right, you ready to talk about game companies that just suck?
With an intro like that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if this company sucks, but right now it's not good. It's real bad. And I think we've both heard about it. It's all over Reddit and everything. But let's talk about Bethesda for a second. They just released Fallout 76. It is, from what I'm hearing, an absolute broken game. Just from what I'm hearing. I
Very
imagine.
rushed is what I'm.
Yeah.
If I add to it.
I can't imagine it's as bad as people say it is, but I also haven't played it, so I'm not going to comment. But one thing that we can look at is the fact that they did have a $200 Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition. Let's take a gander at what that's supposed to look like. Oh, look at this guy's Twitter. It's supposed to come with this really cool, it's even labeled Figure 1 Canvas West Tech Duffel Bag, which this is still on sale if I believe, if everything's correct. I believe it's still on sale.
So were you plugging it? Get it now?
Yeah, grab it while you can. says Canvas West Tech duffel bag. It's got a Fallout helmet from the series. It's got looks like a map and some collectible figurines. What are you, like 3 years old? Whatever. People will buy anything. All right, and then you got this looks like a strategy guide or something. Some kind of. Oh no, that's a steel case. Why would I think strategy guide? And here's the problem. That's what it actually looks like. You get what I mean? Yeah, that's right. It looks terrible. Anyway, so here's what you get is this crappy looking bag. It's definitely not a canvas bag. It's a nylon bag. It's super wrinkly, super ugly. And Bethesda said, the bag shown in the media was a prototype and was too expensive to make. We aren't planning on doing anything about it. I don't know how you get away with that
Thanks,
in
customer service.
2018.
I think somebody from a European company like Germany or something would have said that was a false advertisement, where they have stricter laws over there.
Well, I mean, I'm sure somebody could sue them for that here. They said it's a canvas bag. It's definitely not.
Well, that's the American way, so hopefully somebody sue them and they have to change their
Hopefully. Yeah, and they give them all their
change
money
their
back.
ways.
That's crazy. And I just don't understand. And Bethesda's not a bad company, or at least hasn't been. They've been a pretty solid company. I mean, they get their own thing at E3. I mean, I guess EA does, and we'll get to them. But I mean, they're considered pretty high up there as far as like trust and like reliability. How do they go about saying that we aren't planning on doing anything about it? Like in 2018, after all the other scandals happened, that is crazy. Well, they did end up doing something about it. Hold on to your butts. Now players are not especially happy because they get a $5 in microtransactions.
Oh, is that their apology?
Yeah, anybody that got it gets $5 in-game currency for spending
Why is there
$200.
transactions on a AAA title anyway?
Oh, you're late to the party. That's par for the course. That's absolutely par for the course right now. And that's its own separate problem. But even still, yeah, that is humiliating. $5 for paying $200 and not getting what you ordered. And it's currency you have to use in the game, which I bet you very few things in the game even cost $5. It's probably like $15 to buy anything. So you have to buy cash. You have to spend real money anyway, I'm sure. Biofink said, that reminds me, I heard that CE for Marvel and Capcom, it came with some crappy looking eggs that look different. Yeah. I don't know how they're getting away with this. This is absurd. Somebody really should sue them. Kind of like you were saying, like if this was Germany, can you imagine how many times people said if this was Germany? Probably in reference to World War II.
I just got that. Yeah. Wow.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I think $5 to like Taco Bell would have been better for gamers. They could have got their hell. You can get a whole meal at Taco Bell for $5, man.
If that's what you want to call it, yeah, you could probably get
Yeah, I know the meat's like full of like sawdust and fillers and stuff, but at least you can do the do.
You could definitely do the do for $5, no doubt. Instead, you got to pay. You got to get it for Fallout 76, which is broken anyway. That is crazy. I can't believe. I don't know. Bethesda's gonna have to do some work to get back from that. I know they announced.
They should just re-release the good games before that and just put them HD remix or something. That's what Blizzard's doing, right? That's Blizzard's latest cash cow.
HD. Oh, for Diablo. How many places can we release Diablo?
Yeah, StarCraft.
Well, Bethesda's basically done that with Skyrim, right? Aren't they famous for releasing Skyrim on every possible platform they can?
Hey, man, but the gamers are speaking with their money. There's a reason they keep doing it.
It's true. Can't argue with that. They pay for it. Why not?
I'm looking at a story. Are players already upset about Red Dead's online economy? Just seeing this from
Well, from what I've seen, it hasn't even kicked off. Like there are microtransactions, but they haven't started them yet because it's in beta, so they haven't even kicked off. But from what I understand, the gold is very expensive and also an in-game very hard to come by.
Well, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, so I'm a little worried about that. But
So it sounds like a grinding fest, but some people might like that. They're definitely the people that play MMOs because those are basically just grind fest anyway.
well, what I read was that to get every, I don't know if it was to get everything. I read something about it to really get the full experience, and if you don't want to pay any money, it would take an estimated 900 hours.
Oh, you don't have 900 hours around? What could you do with your life with 900 hours?
Make Red Dead 2? Make Red Dead 3?
Oh, you could maybe 900 hours. Maybe you could degree. Maybe you could do open a business.
Or you could get every horse in Red Dead 2.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's crazy. Speaking of other, this kind of opens a floodgate of other companies that are absolute crap. You got one?
LJN.
LJN. Tell me about
Well,
LJN.
it's fun. Well, I mean the angry video game nerd doesn't has no love lost for them. Oh, they made a lot of the old the superhero games, movie games, wrestling games. They just had a lot of the intellectual properties, and they just made terrible games on the NES and other systems.
Okay. It looks like, yeah, a toy and video game company located in New York City.
New York City,
New York City?
but yeah, because they made the wrestling toys. Because I think the Angry Video Game Nerd just recently did something about the wrestling games, which
Yeah.
I had played quite a few of them. There's some good ones that aren't made by LGN.
Oh, no.
I can't think of a
Those,
good game that's not made by them.
yeah, so it looks like as a result, they intended to sell the company. That was in like 1990. LJN was officially dissolved in 1995. BioPhoenix said the thing is LJN did not make games; they just published them. Some of the games were made by Rare and Atlas. Really?
Well,
Rare
they're a
and
good company. Yeah, thanks, BioPhoenix. Yeah,
yeah,
Rare. I think of Rare. I
BioPhoenix.
think of all the great Donkey Kong games, right? Then they kind of known
Yeah,
for
the,
that.
the,
Yeah,
the
those
for
are
the Super Nintendo, yeah,
yeah, those are games of my
and the
childhood, man.
64.
Atlas isn't doesn't what does Atlas make? I think you
They
know
make
what.
a ton of JRPGs. That's kind of
Yeah,
their niche right
that's
now.
your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made something for the GBA, those great RPG games. I'm trying to think.
BioPhoenix is, just as a side note, an absolute like encyclopedia for especially obscure games. For some reason, he just knows
Obscure game
everything about
knowledge.
obscure games. You should check out his channel. It's crazy. He does like all these Sega Genesis games that I've never heard of.
Oh, I definitely would check that out. I didn't own a Sega Genesis, so I like to watch videos of games because I went to Nintendo to Super Nintendo, so
And really good
skip
editing
past the
too.
Genesis.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, Rare before they did DKC did a lot of strange stuff. That'd be interesting to look at Rare before all that to see where they came from. Rare is an interesting company, especially so they had their like Nintendo
Didn't they make
phase.
GoldenEye and Perfect Dark too?
They did. All their best stuff was on Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, when I think of Rare, I think of Nintendo and
You
vice
don't think
versa.
of Perfect Dark Zero on the Xbox 360?
I think when I worked at the used video game store, I don't think we could sell a copy to save our life. No, if somebody had a gun to my head, I don't think I could have sold that copy.
Yeah. Man. So here's another crazy one. EA, do you believe I would bring them up as a bad company? Remember?
Um, it doesn't surprise me these days and some of the shifts that are going on, man.
Yeah, they had that Battlefront thing forever ago. And then almost immediately after did that UFC thing where they wanted you to pay for everything. Like
Oh,
literally within the same month. Did the exact same thing with the UFC game. Like EA is beyond crazy. And yet they make so much money they don't even care. That's the funny thing about all this tragedy that's in these games is that the casual audience is so strong that they just don't even care.
Well, I think a lot of I feel like a lot of the hardcore gamers are going to more the indie developers because there's some great indie games that have recently come out too.
Yeah, it's funny that you could in an advertisement for a game you could say no microtransactions, and that's like an advertisement.
It's going to be a selling point at some point.
Isn't that wild? That's where we've come. 2018. It's like better than good graphics. It's just no microtransactions.
Yeah, I was surprised when Overwatch came out. They had microtrans like the loot boxes. I mean, this is Blizzard. It's a quality company.
Yeah.
Triple A game. It came out at 60. Well, it was 60, and then plus the Game of the Year edition and all that.
Do you think Overwatch is do you think the I should rephrase it. Do you think the loot box situation, do you think that's gambling?
I think it triggers dopamine. I think it triggers that sensation on it. I mean, look at the games that you don't like, the phone games, man, where you click this to build your town and then speed up and feed your horses carrots or whatever and stuff. The social aspects of games, the Facebook games where you send resources back and forth to each other.
That's true. That's true. Those games take advantage like crazy because you don't even need to be hooked up to a console or a seat to do it. You can literally do it without even looking at it. That's how bad those games are.
It doesn't add to the game. If it doesn't add to the gameplay, it adds to some kind of addiction that they're studying in a lab somewhere to separate us from our hard-earned money.
Yeah, do you believe that? That's you games used to be based off of gameplay. Now it's based off of literally money.
Earning potential for the shareholders. So
Yeah.
that's why I'll go to any length to support the smaller indie studios and again Humble Bundle. Some great games. Again, this episode's not sponsored by them, but
I did buy some good shit off Humble Bundle, so I shouldn't say
no,
anything.
it's the reason I have so many games on Steam, man. That's it's a great deal. It's not even the unselfishness going to charity. You're getting something out of it. So
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think the topic we kind of diverged into is definitely big for another day. We probably shouldn't
yeah, I
go.
think we could go on and on about this, but
Yeah. Uh, Got to wrap this show up, but thank you so much for watching. BioPhoenix, your pleasure. We need to have you on just so you can school us on all the little nitty gritty details.
yeah, can we hire him as the fact checker and random Genesis tidbits?
I can just imagine we start talking about a video game and then we just hear like clicking of a keyboard in the background. Like, uh oh,
Can we
BioPhoenix.
plug BioPhoenix? Go to BioPhoenix's channel for. Is it just the specialize in Genesis or is it just
No, he does everything, but
old school games?
he'll do all the games, but it's crazy. You know, and I think he imports, so he gets some unique games that didn't even come out in America and stuff. It's really cool. Anyway,
That sounds like a great opportunity.
yeah, I'm Spencer, my buddy Ninja. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace out.
Peace.